Hi, today we'll see how to create a fully self-hosted dental clinic AI voice agent that is going to take real phone calls to create appointments, to modify appointments, to cancel appointments, and other features. We are going to be using LiveKit, but you will not have to code anything if you do not want to, because we are going to be using a dashboard that I've built myself so that the agent creation is extremely easy. And also we are able to connect the phone number to the agent extremely easy without all the complications that it comes with LiveKit by default. So this is the dashboard that I was talking about that enables you to create LiveKit agents really easily. And it's available in my school community in the free self-hostable resources course. And then, yeah, you'll be able to download the software down below here and then watch this installation video that guides you through all the installation to self-host the dashboard. Great. So once you have everything set up, you'll have to create a new agent. In my case, as you can see, I have already created one so that I could test everything before recording. So I'm just going to show you the parameters. First, I have set the name to Dental Clinic Receptionist. I have selected OpenAI Real-Time API, but you can also choose Google. And if you swap the mode to separate STT, LLM, TTS, you'll be able to select different providers for the STT, LLM, or the TTS. Then we have to set the first message. For example, thanks for calling Liberty Dental Group. How may I help you? And then I have set in the session prompt, talk only in English, because I don't really know why OpenAI Real-Time API sometimes start talking in other languages. So just to enforce that it only talks in English, I have added this prompt, okay? And in the system prompt, we're going to be reviewing that. I have already published a video that I talk about best practices for system prompts, and you have all the practices there. But yeah, we are just setting a personality, important, then the environment that you are interacting with a potential patient and so on, the tone that it has to have, how it has to talk using filler words and so on to make it sound more natural. Then the different goals that it has. Your primary goal is to successfully classify the patient's need and book a consultation. There is also a goal 2, existing appointment management. There are some guardrails just to make sure that it does everything correctly and does not do anything that we do not want it to do. And then we write about all the tools that it has available. We're going to be seeing how to connect the tools later in the video using N8N. As you can see, actually there is an N8N MCP server URL field here. So yeah, we're going to be seeing how to set this up. And then in the internal configuration of the prompt, here we just add variables. Okay, so owner name, Dr. Smith, business name, Liberty Dental Group, and so on. Okay, and then in the advanced tab, if you want to add this agent to your website and make the agent capable of seeing the webcam, you can enable video input. Okay, but if you want to receive phone calls, that is the most usual thing, you do not need the agent to be able to see video. And in that case, you would need Google Live API, okay? Because OpenAI Real-Time API is not capable of seeing currently. All the system prompt is currently available in the school community in the post where I have attached this video. So this is the MCP server that we're going to be setting up. There is the check current date and time tool, the check availability tool, book an appointment, get event details, cancel calendar event tool, and reschedule tool. So you'll have to use N8N, doesn't matter if you are using the cloud version or if you are self-hosting N8N. You'll need to create a new MCP server trigger, double click to production URL, click to copy the MCP server URL, and then go to your dental clinic receptionist and paste the link inside of the N8N MCP server URL. So going back to the MCP server, first you'll need to add a tool that's called date and time tool. Okay, this is the one that I have added here, and I just set manually description, get current date and time, and the time zone. In my case, it's this one, but you have to set it up to whatever you want, or even you can let the model define this parameter. Okay, because I don't know if you have seen it, but in the internal configuration section, we are defining the time zone. Okay, so the agent, when calling the tool, is going to use this time zone. Okay, so actually we could leave it so that the agent defines the time zone. Then we have check availability. As you can see, it is a separate workflow, and is this one. So when executed by another workflow, it's going to get all these parameters, starting at, ending at, and time zone. Then if you have downloaded this tool from my school community, you have to come here and modify some of these parts. So the starting hour of the dental clinic, if you open at 8 a.m., just set it to 8 a.m. Then the ending hour, the hour that you close or your client close their dental clinic, okay, in 24-hour format. Important to know that, okay? The average meeting duration. So for example, it may take the dentist 60 minutes to attend a customer, set it to 60 minutes. And then the buffer before minutes and buffer after minutes, maybe you don't need that. So just set it to 0. In this case, it's just to have a buffer before the meeting itself and a buffer after the meeting itself to be able to clean the tools and all this. Okay, and yeah, you will not have to touch basically anything here. It is computing the potential slots based on this configuration. Then it is getting the appointments from our Google Calendar, and then if there are any events scheduled whatsoever, it's going to get the free slots. So just taking the potential slots have been computed here and subtracting the appointments that we have get, okay? Then it's going to split out all the free slots, get only the relevant info, and then aggregate all the items again to return it to the MCP server. And in the case that there are no events scheduled, it's just going to take all the potential slots and do the same. Just get the relevant info, aggregate everything, and return. Okay, then there is the book appointment tool. It is basically a Google Calendar tool, as you can see. And in the parameters, we're going to let the AI define the start and the end of the event. So this is the start time that the event is going to start at, and then the end is basically at the moment where the event is going to end. Okay, and then we can also add additional fields. For example, in the description, we can enable the AI to define the name of the client, because we have, if you take a look at the system prompt that we have talked about in the AI voice agent, it is mandatory for it to ask for the name and the address. Well, in this case, it doesn't make sense to ask for the address, because I have used this tool for other AI voice agent for other types of businesses. So make sure to adapt it to wherever you want. In this case, it doesn't make sense to have the addresses. And the phone, it's not going to ask the client for their phone. It is just going to take the phone number from which the customer is calling. Okay, and then in the summary, it's going to the service or, well, the issue that the client has, for example, tooth extraction. And also it's going to set the client name. So it would look like tooth extraction for John Smith, for example. Okay. The next tool is get event details. As you can see, it's a separate workflow. So we're going to be checking it out. It is much shorter compared to the other one that we have seen. So just set the configuration here. It's basically the same configuration as it was with the check availability tool. Okay. Then it's going to get appointments from date and time to another date and time inside of this time period. Okay. Then it's going to see if there are any events scheduled whatsoever. If there are, it's going to take the relevant info, or if there are no events scheduled, it's just going to set error, no events exist, and it's going to return the error or the relevant info about the events. Okay. The next tool, it's cancel calendar event tool. It's another separate workflow, so we're going to be taking a look at that. It is a really simple tool, as you can see. It's just going to get the event for the next 2 months. It's just going to keep events from the contact, because as you can see, it's going to ask for the client phone just to be able to find the event specific to that contact. Okay. And lastly, before doing a demo, we're going to be taking a look at the reschedule tool. As you can see, it is also really simple. It's basically the same from compared to the cancel event tool, but the only thing that changes is this last action. Instead of canceling the event, it's going to just reschedule the event, okay? It is going to ask for the new start at and the new end at. Now that we have created the agent itself and the tools, the MCP server that we have connected to the agent, we're going to create a phone number. You'll need to purchase a phone number. I don't know if I have already done a video about how to purchase a phone number. I'm using Telnix, but you could be using Twilio or any other provider, okay? Just add the new phone number, make sure that you have set up the SIP trunk in your provider, okay? And then we're going to have to set up the SIP trunk for LiveKit, okay? As you can see, I have already created an inbound trunk and an outbound trunk. Of course, if you have more phone numbers added to the phone number section, you'll need an inbound trunk for every phone number if you want, or even you can select different phone numbers for the specific inbound trunk, okay? And lastly, we'll have to create a dispatch rule. So make sure to set it clearly that this is a dispatch rule for inbound, okay? The room prefix, this doesn't really matter. I have just set it as it is. Then select the agent. In my case, I'm going to select the dental clinic receptionist. And lastly, in the trunk selection, just select the trunk that you have created. As you can see, it is really clear that this is an inbound trunk and this is an outbound trunk. In my case, it's inbound because people are calling the agent instead of the agent calling people, okay? So yeah, just create it and save it. So the last two steps that you have to do is just make sure that the agent is started and then test the agent, okay? Just to make sure that everything is working properly. This test button, it's going to send you to a room inside of the dashboard so that you do not have to spend credits in Telnix or Twilio calling from your phone, okay? So yeah, I'm going to be doing a demo showing you how it works. I'm going to make up an example, of course. So here we go.
Thanks for calling Liberty Dental Group. How may I help you?
Hi, I want a tooth to be extracted because it is really painful.
I'm so sorry to hear that. We'll take care of you as soon as possible. Let's get a few details. Could you tell me your full name so we can get you scheduled right away?
John Patrick.
Thanks, John. And just to confirm, the primary reason is a painful tooth that needs extraction, right?
Yeah, I think that even it is somewhat infected, so it's quite an emergency.
Got it, John. We'll make this a priority. Let's find you the earliest available appointment. Just one moment while I check the schedule. John, we've got several openings today. The earliest available slot is from 1 to 2 this afternoon. Would that time work for you?
I'll go right now. I'm preparing.
Understood. Let me lock that in for you right now. Just a moment. All set, John. You're booked for today, October 7th at 1 in the afternoon for that tooth extraction. We'll send you a confirmation by text. Take care, and we'll see you soon.
Great, thank you. As you can see, the agent told me that it is going to send me an SMS after the call. We have not set up an SMS tool. I'm going to do a video on how to send SMSs. And from that point on, I'm just going to be sure that in every tutorial, I add the SMS tool. Great, so I hope that it has been useful. You can go watch the video that it's appearing right now at the screen. It talks about how to make a proper good system prompt. It is really important to do a good system prompt for your AI voice agent. So yeah, go watch it.